Hey, what's going on everybody? Doozy here with another Cosmic Crucible video for you. We're in round 2 of season 8. This is the 3rd week right now, so we have about 4 more weeks to go. This is a very rough week for me, as I mentioned in my previous video. There are 4 people with Mephisto, and for the second matchup in a row, we have Mephisto again. My opponent today is Cool Sly Fox. I do have a game plan in place after looking at the defenses, so let's go ahead and check out his TCP and what the defense is. So as far as their TCP goes, they're about 92 million, I'm about 84 million, I'm a little bit under, so this is going to be about an 8 million punch up for me. Normally that's not going to be too bad, it's just the fact that they have Mephisto, which means they have a lot more Crimson Gear characters than I do, so they can definitely outpower me in a lot of different situations. Now something I'm going to be banking on is the fact that they didn't clear 2 rooms on the last round, just like I didn't clear 2 rooms. So hopefully we can try to at least get the full clear, and we can have something happen in our favor. If we do need a sack, I'm definitely going to throw a sack out there, just to try to make sure I can get something going our way. Let's go ahead and check out the defenses and see what we're going against. So as far as the defense goes, in stage 1 they have the full Infinity Watch. Stage 2, they have the Mercs for money with the pre-taunt Bishop. Stage 3, they have the 4-piece X-Treme X-Men with Dorm. Stage 4 is the Out of Time with Vahl. Stage 5 is going to be Hive Mind Super Skrull. And Stage 6 is going to be the Spider Society with Quicksilver. For stage 1, I'm just going to use the PEGASUS team into this Infinity Watch. It's going to be basically a punch across. It's like a 100k punch down, so nothing too major, but it's a pretty reliable counter, and this will allow me to use other characters in other rooms. Because of how slow the PEGASUS team is, the Infinity Watch is going to take all of their turns first. The PEGASUS team, though, is very resilient, so they're usually able to withstand the opening barrage that's going to be coming at them. Once Kestrel's turn comes up, I'm actually going to target Gamora and use the ultimate to try to get a crit and a one-shot on her. For Ironheart Mark II, I end up doing the ultimate. When it comes to Rescue's turn, I'm going to use the ultimate to flip those negative effects into positive effects. Moondragon does end up using her special, and she ends up stripping all of her buffs away, but we're still able to start moving. Iron Man Infinity War is going to use his ultimate. Darkhawk is going to use his ultimate. And the Kestrel Ping was able to take 1 life off of Gamora already. For Kestrel's turn, there is a taunt currently on Moondragon, so I'm just going to use the special. Even though they have the evades on them, that move is unavoidable, so I'm able to actually hit them. The Ironheart Mark II is going to end up doing her special, and that ends up taking out the Gamora, and that also takes out the Moondragon. For Darkhawk's turn, there's currently a taunt on Vahl, so I'm going to use the special, that ends up taking care of her. Kestra ends up doing the basic on Adam Warlock. On Rescue's turn, I end up doing this special. That's going to heal us up a little bit, and it also does a percentile damage to the enemies, which causes the Kestrel Ping to take 1 life away from Adam Warlock. Here, Ironheart Mark II ends up doing the basic into Adam Warlock as well. There's a defense down on him, and the Ping ends up taking care of him. Now I just have to worry about the Gamora, so it's a very easy cleanup with the rest of my characters. For stage 2, I'm going to try to use Apocalypse, 3 of the Horsemen, and Emma Frost. I did this before, but that was with the Zombie Juggernaut, and the placement was different. I definitely want to emphasize the placement on the other matchup, because the placement here is a whole lot better, and it changes the whole dynamic of this fight. So if we look at the placement of this, they put the Bishop right next to the Panda Pool, which is really smart. Red Hulk ends up doing that special, which basically hits the Panda Pool. So for Apocalypse, I end up targeting the Panda Pool and doing the ultimate. the ISO attack comes in and takes out the Panda Pool. Now when the Panda Pool revives, they came back and they had a taunt on themselves, so I'm not able to do that Falcon Punch into the Old Man Logan. So this placement just shut down this whole counter for us. We're still going to try to do something, see if we might be able to swing back around, maybe kill some of these characters off, bide our time, so we can try to get Apocalypse to take out the Old Man Logan. So when it comes to Deadpool's turn, he ends up doing a stun on the Red Hulk and basically taking out our Archangel. For Apocalypse, I do the special into the Panda Pool, and now Old Man Logan goes off, basically kills everybody. So we're going to end up backing out here. For my second attempt, I end up putting Echo in here as the 5th member. Looking back at it, as far as the recording's going and me doing this voiceover for the video right now, I think bringing Zemo in would have worked better, because on spawn he's able to remove the buffs, which hopefully would have gotten rid of Bishop's taunt, and then I could have actually used the proper counter for this. So I'm going to try to remember that for the next time. So for this one here, I do try to play it a little bit different. I end up doing the special just like I did before with the Red Hulk. Instead of targeting the Panda Pool on this one, I'm going to stay targeted on the Bishop. Right now it's just double checking a couple abilities to see what the special would end up doing, if it would end up helping me here. I still opt to go for the ultimate. However, I still get the Panda Pool push, so he has a taunt on himself. I do the Falcon Punch on him, so the Panda Pool is permadead as well. Now I have to deal with the Deadpool, the Dakin, and the Old Man Logan. For Morgan's turn, instead of doing the ultimate there, I end up doing the basic. I didn't want to hit the Old Man Logan if I didn't have to. And right here, the Old Man Logan ends up going off. He ends up using his ultimate. This match is pretty much over, so I'm going to end up keeping this one, and I'm just going to go in with a cleanup. I am curious though about adding Zemo as the 5th anytime they have that pre-taunt on there. I'm curious if the passive removing the taunt, if it does end up going off, would end up working much better. So I'm going to give that a go next time. For the cleanup, I'm just going to use the full Masters of Evil team. It's going to be more reliable as far as using this as the cleanup, because I have seen cleanups where Old Man Logan just kind of goes off on you. So this is going to be the safer bet for me to use. So for the cleanup in here, I'm going to target the Old Man Logan, and I'm going to use Titania's special on this one. Now that it's Kang's turn, I'm just going to do the basic. I'm going to have that triple tap on him, and that kills the Old Man Logan. Now it's going to be very easy. I just have to take out the Deadpool and the Dakin. Ultron ends up doing the special into Deadpool. Moonstone ends up doing the ultimate into Deadpool. And the bots, I'm just going to use those abilities. Titania will use the ultimate. That does take out the Deadpool. He doesn't end up coming back, luckily. And here, Absorbman's going to use the ultimate, and that ends up finishing the match. For stage 3, I'm using the Superior 6 with Vulture as the 5th member on here. I really prefer adding Vulture in this matchup and taking Lizard out, because Vulture does a really good counter on the Nightcrawler by removing those speed ups. So for this matchup, Vulture will be going first. I'm going to target the Dorm and use Vulture's special into that. That we can put slow on those 3 characters and flip some positive effects. Green Goblin Classic, I'm going to use the ultimate, and he is a striker. I'm going to use the extra hit from the striker attack to hit the Nightcrawler there. Now that it's Kraven's turn, I do the special and I end up targeting the Forge. That way I can get the ability block on him. For Doc Ock, I end up doing the special. That gets the Shocker out in the field. For Spider Slayer's turn, I do end up doing the special here, and that does take care of the Dorm, and that takes 1 life off of the Cyclops. Because I did take that life off the Cyclops, that did end up pushing the Forge a little bit though, but since he had the ability block, he only used his basic there. This is where I do the mess up. Vulture's turn comes around, I end up doing the ultimate, that end up taking out the Cyclops and the Nightcrawler. Forge ends up bleeding out, however, Forge got that speed up still, so now he ended up using the ultimate, he brings Cyclops back, and now I'm pretty much in trouble. Vulture's back up, I'm doing the basic into the Forge right here. And here Nightcrawler ends up doing his special. He ends up doing the stun on the Green Goblin Classic, and now everybody starts piling in onto the Green Goblin Classic due to RNG, unfortunately. So my Green Goblin Classic ends up getting tunneled out. Here Nightcrawler's turn comes around again, he ends up doing the ultimate. So this match is over, I'm going to end up backing out from this, and I'm going to try again. So I'm not really changing anything as far as ISOs go on this. I'm just going to go back in. I'm going to try to play a little bit smarter. The power levels of this team is just kind of throwing my usual counter off for this one, unfortunately. So again, Vulture will be going first. I'm going to target Dorm and do the special on here. I want to get those flips and some slows out on the field for the Nightcrawler and the Gambit. Green Goblin Classic, I end up doing the striker hit on the Dorm this time when I'm doing the ultimate for that turn meter rewind. Kraven's back up. I'm going to use that special on the Forge to get the ability block on him like before as well. Doc Ock, I'm going to use the special. That's going to get the Shocker out on the field for me. For Spider Slayer's turn, I still end up doing the special. I know Cyclops was really low in health. He ended up living, fortunately, and I still got rid of the Dorms. This is already playing out a lot better. Right there, the Green Goblin Classic ping ends up hitting the Gambit. It takes out the Cyclops, but that did not push the Forge. For Vulture's turn, I opt to do the basic this time, and I decide to hold on the ultimate for his following turn. So right there, Forge ended up doing the ultimate, so he did end up getting the heal out there. So now I don't really have to worry about that ultimate threat anymore, because he already burned that. For Green Goblin Classic's turn, I still end up going to the Forge here, and I do the special, because Forge is still a fairly good threat, even though I don't have to worry about the revive. For Kraven's turn, I end up doing the ultimate. That did peel a couple of the evades off, and I got a pretty good hit on a couple of the other characters. Now that it's Vulture's turn, now I opt to do the ultimate. That peeled more evades off, unfortunately. I didn't really get that turn meter rewind, but the evades are gone. Doc Ock is up. I end up doing the ultimate. Now Forge is gone. So right here, I end up doing that ultimate from Spider Slayer into the Nightcrawler. Unfortunately, I didn't get the permakill on him because he wasn't the one that did the hit on it. Instead, it was the assist that got the kill on the Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler here ends up starting to go off. He ended up doing that special, so we got the stun on the Kraven, and now we lost the Kraven. Gambit ends up doing the ultimate, so I'm in a pretty bad situation. I'm still going to keep this. I'm just going to try to take out that Cyclops. That way he can come in for an easier cleanup. I just want to try to make sure I pulled Nightcrawler's ultimate before I end up wiping. There, Vulture ends up taking out the Cyclops. Doc Ock does the basic, and here Nightcrawler does the ultimate. So I got to pull all the abilities. This will be a lot easier of a cleanup now. For the cleanup, I'm just going to use the full New Warriors team. It's going to be fast, and I should be able to get the jump on them and not worry about Nightcrawler or Gambit just deciding to solo my entire team. So this is a very fast cleanup. Nightcrawler is going to go first and use the basic into the Gwenpool. Because of those evades, he only got half the hits off. Gwenpool is going to end up doing that special to strip and flip those positive effects. Firestar is going to do the ultimate, and I'm going to target in on the Gambit. Here, the Deathpool ends up doing the special to spread those negative effects. Cloak is up, I'm going to use the ultimate, and that ends up taking out the Gambit. Dagger ends up doing the special, Gwenpool does the ultimate, and here Nightcrawler ends up doing the special. Firestar does the special back at him, and Deathpool gets the permakill with the ultimate. So that's a pretty good cleanup hit for this one. For stage 4, we're just going to play it safe. I'm going to go in with the Invaders, time out, then go in with the real team. I already dropped too many attacks from that stage 2 and stage 3 fights. So all we're doing is we're just loading in, we're going to hit pause, and we're going to fast forward that 5 minutes, and then I'll be back with that real team that we're going to be using. So here's the real team that we're going to be using. The Eternals, Tangled Web, and Nova. I didn't want to do this with the pre-sack because with the room rolls and the way Black Knight would retaliate, those traumas would just keep those negative effects on us. By doing the sack, we basically just got rid of the Black Knight, so this is going to be a whole lot easier to play around with now. So the 2099 is going to be going first. I'm going to use that ultimate to try to flip those positive effects and get rid of the taunts. So that did end up working. Spiderweaver's up. I'm still going to use the ultimate to get the trauma stun on the Black Knight. For Nova's turn, I'm going to use the special to put the stun on the Peggy Carter next. Now the Icarus up, I'm going to use the ultimate. I do end up getting that double tap because I got the kill on the Star Brand, and now Peggy Carter's gone as well. Cersei is going to use the ultimate for another turn meter rewind. And here I end up doing the special from 2099 to ability block the Vahl. Icarus, I end up doing the special into the Captain America that got rid of the Black Knight, and the assist end up taking out the Captain America. Spiderweaver ends up doing the basic, and that got rid of the Vahl, so the match is over. For stage 5, I'm going to use Cabal, Omega Red, and Zemo. The reason I have Zemo in here is that way we can get an early ability block and crit. I want to ability block that Void Knight so I don't have to worry about him doing that turn 1 ult on us. So here Zemo's passive goes off and strips some of those positive effects away. I do end up doing that ult and I get that ability block on the Void Knight. So here Void Knight goes and he only can do the basics. So now I have all my abilities. I didn't get any ability blocks on any of my characters. Iron Patriot's going to target the Super Skrull and do the special. Namor's up. I end up doing the ultimate here. Since mine is a striker, I actually should have targeted somebody else so that we can have gotten another kill. Omega Red is up. I'm going to target the Red Goblin and do the special. I wasn't really worried about the ability block portion, it was more the damage portion to the other characters. Leader ends up doing the basic onto the Void Knight. And here Zemo just does the special on the Red Goblin to do some pretty good damage to him. Namor does the special on the Super Skrull and the assist come in to kill him off. Iron Patriot does the ultimate, and now the match is over. This was very easy and very efficient. For stage 6, I'm going to use my Secret Defenders with the Lizard. I really like this counter into this team, however I do make a pretty big blunder during this one, so I'm going to point that out when I get there. Here Lizard's going to be going first. I'm going to use the ultimate to try to strip those positive effects away. I was able to get the majority of those off, however Penny was able to keep a lot of hers. She has very high resistance, so that usually does tend to happen. Ms. Marvel Harlight's up next. I'm going to target the Spider-Man Noir and use the ultimate here to do a turn meter rewind to Penny, Spider-Man Noir, and Spider-Man Papitra. Black Cat's up next. I'm going to use the special on the Quicksilver so I can get the trauma stun on him. Ghost Rider Robbie's up next. I end up doing the ultimate. I'm able to get bleeds on several characters, and that's going to give him enough turn meter to where he's able to go again. So here I end up targeting the Penny, and I'm just doing the special here. What I should have done is the special onto the Peter B. Parker, so that way I can get the ability block on him. Photon's up next. Here I end up targeting the Penny and doing the ultimate. That does get rid of the Quicksilver. Even though things are looking good right now, things are about to turn around. Peter B. Parker ended up doing his ultimate right there, and it just got rid of all the negative effects I had on the field. So that's why I wanted to do the Ghost Rider Robbie special to the Peter B. Parker. So I should try to remember that in the future anytime I do this matchup. And here you see what ended up happening ever since Peter B. Parker ended up removing all those negative effects. They're starting to stack up so many positive effects, and their ultimates are coming around so often that they're just spreading these positive effects, and I can't really get ahead of it right now. And there's already 3 minutes pretty much gone in this matchup because of how long this fight takes, because of that room 6 where it keeps spreading and removing all those positive effects. It's just a huge time sink for this fight. So right now I'm starting to lose a lot of characters. I do end up quitting out of this, and I'm going to go back in. So I'll be back once we start the fight over again. So again, I'm not going to make any changes to the ISOs. I'm going to use the same character, same ISOs, and we're going to go back in and try to correct that one mistake that I made where I need to use that Ghost Rider Robbie special into the Peter B. Parker. So here it's Lizard's turn. I'm going to start by doing that ultimate again. I'm able to strip all those positive effects away. However, Penny has several positive effects that I wasn't able to get off. Ms. Marvel Harlight's up next. This time here, I'm actually going to target the Quicksilver and do the ultimate. Even though I can't turn me to rewind him, I am able to rewind the Peter B. Parker and the Penny, who I feel are more important to control during this fight. Black Cat's up. I'm going to use that special on the Quicksilver to put that trauma stun on him just like before. Ghost Rider Robbie's up. I'm going to use that ultimate. I'm going to be able to get a lot of bleeds out there. Now I'm going to use that special on the Peter B. Parker to get that ability block on him, along with the bleeds on him and Quicksilver. And there, the Ghost Rider Robbie passive ended up taking out the Quicksilver. Photon's up next. I end up doing that ultimate while I'm targeted onto the P2B Parker. And there, the ISO attack from Photon was able to take out the P2B Parker. So now all I really have to worry about is the Spider-Man Pavitra, Spider-Man Noir, and the Penny who's currently in stealth. Black Cat's up next. I'm going to use that ultimate on the Spider-Man Pavitra. And here Penny was able to get her ultimate off. So right now my goal is to try to take out the Spider-Man Pavitra. So Ghost Rider Robbie did a basic into him, and then the proc from his passive was able to take him out. Here the Lizard ended up doing the special into the Scarlet Witch. I should have targeted the Penny, because I was more worried about the splash damage trying to take out the Scarlet Witch herself, along with damaging the Spider-Man Noir. So now all I really have to worry about is that Penny and the Spider-Man Noir. Photon here ends up doing the special into the Penny, and now Photon's able to do an ultimate followed by that. Black Cat's up. I do the special to get the trauma stun on Penny, and I get a nice rebound back and forth. Ghost Rider Robbie's back up. I'm going to use that ultimate that takes care of the Spider-Man Noir, and now I have a very easy cleanup on the Penny. This one went a lot smoother than that previous attempt. So I totally got my butt kicked on this one. My opponent got a 50,190 and I got a 47,763. So they just walked right through my entire defensive line. I'm really curious to see what the difference was between my round 1 opponent and round 2 opponent to see what the drastic difference was. Something I do want to point out though is I would have lost this matchup anyways, because when I was planning out my attacks, I was already planning to do a sack on stage 4, so he would have won regardless. With that being said, I really like the positioning on what he did for stage 2 with the pre-taunt right next to the panda pool. So I actually made that change to my defense for stage 2 as well. But let's go ahead and check out the defenses and see what actually happened. For stage 1, I used that Pegasus into the Infinity Watch. I got an 8360 on that one. Stage 3, I definitely struggled. That's where I did the Apocalypse with the Horsemen and Emma. I backed out, went in with Echo instead. I'm still curious if Zemo would have actually made this work for me, so I'm definitely going to give that one a shot. Then I had to go in with Masters of Evil for the cleanup. This one here, I got a 7563. Stage 3 is another mess up that I had. That's where I accidentally pushed the Forge, and then for the second attack, something still didn't go right. I need to work on this counter a little bit more, just because of the power levels that Crimson Gear definitely throwing it off. The New Warriors was able to get the cleanup on it, and I got the 7552 for the score. For stage 4, I did that one sack with the Invaders, then I really liked the team that I used to clean up with. This got me a 7967, so not too bad with a sack involved. For stage 4, I used that Cabal, Zemo, and Mega Red. This got me a 8367 against that Hive Mind Super Skrull. That was a very efficient hit for me. And for stage 6, that's where I made the mess up and used the Ghost Rider Robbie special on the Penny instead of the P2B Parker. This ended up getting me that 7954. And as for my defenses, in stage 1, they did the same thing I did. They used Pegasus into the Infinity Watch. This got them at 8361. And for stage 2, they end up using their Cabal with King of Titania. This was my Mercs for Money Nightcrawler Zombie Juggernaut. This got them at 8371, so a very high efficient score. However, it was a very big investment. So if this person didn't have Mephisto, I would normally count this as a victory. For stage 3, they end up using their Eternals, Nova, Omega Red, and Spiderweaver. This was my out of time dorm team. This got them at 8366. That's a pretty good efficiency hit for that type of a team. For stage 4, they end up using their Superior 6 with Apocalypse. This was my X-Men with Black Knight team combination. This got them at 8360. So this sucked quite a bit of efficiency out of them, and it looks like I actually did some pretty good damage on their health bonus for this one too. For stage 5, they basically used Mephisto and Friends. This was my Hive Mind Super Skrull team, and they got an 8365 on this one. And for stage 6, they end up using their Secret Defenders with Cosmic Ghost Rider. This got them a very good efficiency score of an 8367. So currently I am 0-2. I'm hoping to at least win next week's matchup. I have a 50-50 shot on either going against Mephisto again, or going against somebody that does not have Mephisto. Even if I go 0-3 this week, I should still stay in the Diamond 3 bracket where I'm at. It's just going to push me farther back from that Masters 1 that I'm really trying to break into. I don't know if I'm going to be able to break back into that without Mephisto. I'm definitely going to keep trying, but regardless, I do hope that you enjoyed this video and you guys learned something from watching me face these tough teams. If you do, be sure to give this channel a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.